Yeah. Okay, now who wants to come over for a party? Woo! You can run and jump across these. Oh, yeah. Whee! This is the best upgrade of all times. Welcome back to some more Vault Hunters on the Leftovers SMP. We're back on the island, and as you can see, this thing has turned into an absolute freaking disaster. We have so much stuff going on this island, and we're quickly running out of room. Now, I have gone ahead and updated my bridges here, which has been very, very nice. I didn't realize that there's actually a tool you can get that allows you to separate the railings and stuff like that. So went ahead and updated those. So now we have a much nicer 2-block wide thing here. We added some ropes along the edge of the what are they called, islands here along the pathway, so this is a little bit more convenient. But this place is an absolute hot mess, and we need to get that fixed in this episode today, so we're gonna dive into that. What have we got going on here? We didn't make sure we selected body. We'll get into that later. Yeah, I've been working on the quest book a little bit. We did get nearly to the part where here we need to get to level 20, and then we can get a free knowledge star, which would be pretty sweet. But I have unlocked a bunch of this other stuff, so we just got all these tables: the forge, the recycler, the jewel cutter, the tool station, the soul diffuser, the black market, all this good stuff, some anvils and whatnot from the vaults. We got a bunch of random crap. We had to get a spirit extractor because accidents happened. So we got that now just in case we need to recover our body in the future. We do have some bounty crates and whatnot here to open up, and we've got a few things going on in here. And I think the first thing we're probably going to do is start out with these knowledge stars that I've been working on, because there are a few upgrades I want to make to this system already, because it's not good enough. It's been helpful to have some drawers and whatnot in here, but we need to do a little bit better with that. And I think there's a few things that are going to help us out with that. So we'll actually dive into those in a little bit, because before we do that, there's a way that I can make this system a lot better, and hopefully I have the resources to do it. We're going to attempt to make the drawer controller, because this will allow us to import items directly from like a single block into all of these without having to go through and click each of the individual spots, which gets to be kind of a pain in the butt when you have to do it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again every time you want to put stuff into there. So we're going to go ahead and make 4 black chromatic steel. These things are freaking expensive, but luckily we did get a bunch of black opals in a few of the vault runs that I've ran off camera, or I guess with Fuzzy was live streaming earlier. We did some vaults with him and maybe a few other ones in between now and the last episode. So we got those. We need some layer mar as well. I believe it'll probably take a full stack of this to get. Nope, we don't need that many, but that's fine. We need 2 more drawers, so we need a little bit of chromatic, which I'm cooking up here. I think we're going to need a couple of logs of any variety, because it doesn't really matter what kind they are. And then we need some of these, a little driftwood, so we can make the drawers. Yeah, we don't have the oak, but we'll do a couple of these buoys. And we're gonna go through this and make these together, because I think that would be cool to do. Now, I did do a little bit of trading with Fuzzy, as well as getting somewhat lucky with some of the gems I've been looking for in the vault. So we do have, I believe, if my calculations are correct, enough gems to actually craft our first pog of the season. Let's go! Woo! We did it! We made a pog. We win the game, basically. So, all right, here we go. Very expensive, but very impressive technological advancements. We have the drawer controller. Now, I think I want to do, I don't know if I might change these in the future, but for now, let's go ahead and we're going to make this boy one of these guys, a little framed drawer controller. And I'll probably put it down here for now. I don't know. This is likely to get moved because we're going to do a little bit of work on the island today. But what do we have here? We got vault stone, I think, and coconut wood, maybe. Let's try that. If we go framed coconut with that, would be like this, and then boom, we can put that there. Super amazing. Okay, so now if you see, we have the chromatic iron and this driftwood and stuff like that in our inventory, and these even as well. Let's put those like this. Now, if you didn't know how this already worked, the drawer controller talks to all these other drawers around here. They become best friends, and it's like, hey, I got all this stuff for you. Let me find a spot for you to put it. Boom, you double click that, and all the stuff goes in there, so I don't have to go through and click individually on each spot to get all my stuff looted. Or looted? What are we talking about? Back into the drawers, which super helpful. So when I'm trying to empty out stuff in large quantities, and I can just bam, put it in there. Super helpful. That makes life way easier when it comes to these drawers. But there are some better advancements that we'll get to farther down the line. I think before we get carried away with more advancements, though, we need to advance in the cleanliness of our island here, because this place is a disaster. Now, I did notice that we got a little box here from Sturcat, which is super nice. We got some epic pirate decorations. So these are really cool. We have some pirate banners. If you didn't notice here, we're going with a pretty sweet pirate themed island. So now we can put little skulls all over the island and freaking pirate flags, which is awesome. I'm excited about that. We still do need to continue trying to unlock transmogrifications so we can hopefully get some pirate. I know there's like a pirate hat and some other cool armor models that would give us piratey type stuff. Now, anyway, we got decorations, but first we got to clean up before we can decorate. So I think what I'm going to do here, somewhere, I had a box of stuff. Maybe we'll just start with some cobblestone because it's a little safer. And I wanted to actually start out by making like a path off the side of this area, I think. Now, this probably won't be fuzzy approved when we start building it because it's probably going to be a little bit ugly. But since we kind of have to build down into the void to be able to go anywhere else and build other things, this is how we're going to have to start out. Now, this is super sketchy. The pucker factor is quite high. But what I wanted to do is kind of wrap this around into a path down here so we can build like another area down below. Look at this awesome cloud. This place is coming along sweet, by the way. There's a lot of really cool stuff going on. So make sure, if you haven't yet, go down into the description below the video and check out the rest of the Leftovers members who are building all kinds of cool stuff on the Sky Island here this season, because it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, so you don't want to miss out on any of that action. That is for sure. But we're gonna have to go down quite a way because it's really hard to build. Like, this island kind of looks like crap underneath, if I'm being honest. But it's really hard to build underneath it without having a platform down below. So what I want to do is just kind of bridge out down like this, and luckily we have this option to be able to place blocks below the blocks, which helps us out. So I want to build down a little ways so that we have some room here and kind of just build a platform that we can start to build an island upwards off of from down below. So we'll get a little bit of verticality and get closer to Vert's area down there. Look at this guy. He's already got spinning windmills and whatnot going on. This, I think, is going to be low enough. But like I said, we want to make sure. Let's go this way. This is a little less of a pucker factor if we go facing forwards. And I kind of just want to build this out a little bit so that I have an idea of where we're going to be going. Because then I can start out with my dirt and whatnot down below here and sort of build up and around to that to make sure we get the shape that we want. Excuse me. Got a burp sneaking up on me there. Now we probably need to get some torches down here to make sure this is not like the sketchiest place of all times. And from here, I'll build up a little bit more of a shape with the dirt so that we kind of have an idea. This will probably go out and around a little bit more, and it might honestly be a little bit higher than this. But we'll get that planned out and start building a little expansion to the base, because I think it'd be cool to have little areas, maybe like similar to this size, that we can sort of have spots for all the different activities we need. So a spot for crafting gear, and like a little like blacksmith area, maybe like a separate area for soul diffusing, and then a little area for enchanting, and kind of branch it out into a few different islands of different varieties. And I think we'll keep the main storage area and stuff like that up here, and just kind of expand out one piece at a time until we have a place that's adequate for getting all the things done we need to get done. So I'm going to work on that for a little bit and see if we can come up with kind of a decent shape for that. And then we can be able to get all this crap off of our front lawn. Just a little bit of block placing later, and I think we've got a pretty nice looking addition to the island here. Now, I've made a little bit of a pathway going down, changing up the elevation a little bit, just try to mix things up. And we've got ourselves a nice little, what looks like a crater here. Now, I do have some plans to fill this thing in to make ourselves our own little lake, kind of a little oasis here, because after all, we do have a pirate island, and what kind of pirate doesn't have some kind of water? So we're gonna make a little lake here for now and see how that goes. And then I got a couple additional little islands there and a little island here with some nice little walkway bridges. This one's probably gonna turn into like my enchanting type island, maybe of some sort. We'll see kind of what that turns into. And this one might be something else. I don't know. This one actually, now that I look at it, I'm probably going to expand this one to be a little bit bigger. And maybe we'll turn that one into sort of our little gear island, where we do like gear forging and re-rolling the gear and stuff like that. Because I do want to get into some more of that type of stuff here pretty soon. Now, there was a thing that I was going to do, and I already forgot what it was. We need to try to grab some extra water. I don't know if there is an additional water source up on the spawn island here. I think there is, because we got to turn our little lake here into a nice spot where we can actually have some aquatic things growing, and maybe have a couple of different, couple new friends. Maybe you can join us in that area there. You can hear the crunching in the background. I actually did do a little bit of a trade with Fuzzy earlier. So now, where is it? This one. Is it this one? One of these? This one? Try again. Third time's a charm. This one. We do have a feeding upgrade now. I traded Fuzzy a feeding upgrade for a stack upgrade that I gave him. So now we can run around with our backpack and automatically get sweet rolls, or whatever they are. What are they called? The vault sweets shoved right into our face hole, which is amazing. I don't even have to put in any extra effort to eat anything. So let's go ahead and get this going. I probably will want to add some lights down in this here lake eventually, but for now, let's go ahead and that's not how that's gonna work. How can we do this to make an infinite water source? There we go. To make sure we have plenty of water, and we're gonna fill the whole thing up down here, because we want to have a little spot for some aquatic stuff to happen, since we don't have any land anywhere nearby on the island here. We have to kind of make our own. So we're gonna start with the pool there, and that way we can get like some squids and stuff. I want to put some dolphins in here. We got some dolphin spawn eggs, which would be really cool. And we can tear up the little thing that's down below here, because I believe Fuzzy added this waterfall to get some squids to spawn down there. We already got dolphins, and that's pretty cool. But that thing's ugly. So we're going to tear that out, and we're going to make a nice little oasis here. Pirate oasis. So, when we're in between vaults, we could just hang out in our little pirate bay here. Sip on some cocktails, have some snacks, and wait for our next vault or whatever it is that we want to do, because we're pirates after all. We can do whatever, count our treasure. We're gonna have so much good loot and other fun stuff that we'll have plenty of things to do down here in our little pirate oasis. Now that we've got a little more room on the island here with our new expansion of the pond down there, which I think is pretty cool looking, and things are coming along well. We've got the pond, we've got some other islands, and things are looking nice. So it's time now to dive into here, I do believe, and I think we're going to take on these knowledge stars. Actually, before we do that, let's double check. Yeah, we got to get to level 20 for this, so we won't get that yet. But I'm gonna nom down these 2 knowledge stars, and we need some help here because this place this is a hot mess, and we got to get that cleaned up. So I've been thinking a little bit about what I want to do here, and I do think the best route for us to go right now is to take colossal chests, boom, because then we can just cram all of our problems into one giant box and not have to think about it that much. And we're going to go with simple storage, I do believe, as well, because that way it gives us the option to actually look through the chest and search for things. And we can also access our drawer system. Now that we have the drawer controller, we can connect that up as well. So that should give us a really good chance to sort of store all this stuff in one place and give us the searchable parts of it as well. So I did already figure out the recipe for the colossal chest, which is these guys here. So we just need some chromatic iron, some driftwood, and some logs by the looks of it, and maybe a little bit of Larimar. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Little polished vault stone. I think we can make that happen pretty easily as well. Let's just grab a stack of this, throw it in there. Look, we already got chromatic in here. Perfect. So let's grab a stack of this, maybe a stack of that, and see what we can make for these guys, because we're gonna need logs for that too. It doesn't really matter what kind. Let's just grab some oak logs and see how many of these guys we can make, because we're going to want a pretty decent sized deal here. Now we're going to need 2 of these, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Larimar, I do believe. If I can click the right ones, we want this, and let's just make 2 of those right away, because one of those turns into this, and we will need the interface in order to connect that up to simple storage. And we'll get these are already cooked up, so we can turn one of those into this guy just like so. Boom, and there we go. We have the options for a colossal chest. Now I'm not sure exactly where this is going to go yet. I think we're going to have to clear out some space before we can put this down, because I might change this up a little bit. I was actually thinking it'd be really cool to see if we could add, I don't know how far we can go out without it looking super awkward, but I'd love to have a plank somewhere on this island so we can walk the plank whenever we feel the need, or send someone else to walk the plank. But it'd be kind of cool to be able to walk the plank off here and like jump into the pond. It'd be kind of sweet. But I think maybe we're gonna move these drawers, and I don't know, put them off to the side or maybe down below somewhere. Don't know yet. I kind of have to figure out the plan for that. But before we get too carried away, let's also look at what we need for simple storage, because we're gonna need these. One of those. For a little tip, if you didn't know, when you're playing modded Minecraft, if you hover over items in JEI and hit the A key, you can actually bookmark stuff to put it on the left side here, so you can remember the things that you're trying to work on. Like we already got those. We got these done. We're still going to need more of those. We'll keep those there. I accidentally bookmarked the vault cobblestone. So now whenever we open up our inventory again, we can just see the recipe for that real quick. Block of quartz. Do we have quartz? That is an interesting question. We might have to go on a little bit of a side mission to get quartz if we don't have any here. Where are we going to be able to get quartz from? Can we get quartz from raw vaults, or is it easier just to go to the nether? Let's see. What else do we need? We need quartz. What do we need for these? We need network cables. So it's just some glass and some chromatic iron. Do we have any more sand, or did I use it all for building? Okay, we're going to have to go get a little bit more resources for the simple storage stuff, because apparently it's not so simple after all for getting the supplies to make this stuff. Well, all right, I was just about to run a raw vault to try to get some of the resources we need to craft this, and I realized I had a whole bunch more supplies actually to get 2 more knowledge stores, which is pretty epic. We've been running some vaults off camera and got enough stuff to do that. So I think I'm going to go ahead and actually unlock Torchmaster today as well, because after building this place, I kind of got blown up once with the creeper on the path here, and I think it would be beneficial for us as well as our neighbors to unlock Torchmaster. I do believe we can make the, what are they called? Lantern. It's like a feral flare lantern, I think. Right here. This thing, which would produce like artificial light sources around, which would be super nice. But we could also do mega torches, which I believe are kind of expensive. But if we can convince someone, or maybe find an echo in the vault, which we'd have to get super lucky for, we could totally make mega torches, which would allow us to basically make the entire spawn portion here, or at least our part of the island, completely mob spawn proof from hostile mobs, which would be pretty dang convenient, if I do say so myself. But moving on from that, we're going to go ahead and try to get ourselves a bit of a raw vault here, I think, to try to get some stuff. We need some sand. We need some coal, would be good to have. And I think we need something else probably too that I already forgot what it was, because we need to make this. So we need, we need quartz. We need quartz. We need sand to make glass, and we need possibly some coal or something. So let's go ahead, yoink one of these guys. I don't know if maybe we could have just done this as a regular vault. I don't know if where we got to get quartz from. Maybe it would be better to get quartz from the nether. Much cleaning and organizing later. We have got a nice clean island that is finally organized with an upgraded storage system. We've got our full drawer set up back here, and I added a few extra spots, so now we have a little bit of room to expand some of these larger items. I don't know if we need the torches there or not, but we got a lot of good stuff going on here. And we've also added our new colossal chest attached to our simple storage system. So now we can see all the stuff inside of inside this colossal chest is accessible through this single block here. So I can search for, whatever I need. If I need dirt, if I need some kind of seal or pickles or whatever it is, we can just search for it in there and grab what we need out of this chest, which is going to be super convenient for all the extra stuff. I can kind of just throw into a single chest here and not have to worry too much about where it is going to. And if we get a lot of items in some of these spots, we can always just grab those out and put them in another drawer over here. So we got that all cleaned up. We got the altar here so we can make our crystals with that. I've got a bunch of crates here from before that we're going to open up here and make sure we get that stuff all figured out. And we've also, of course, got a nice little plank here that we can walk to get down to the bottom section of the island. So we added a little bit onto that, which is really nice. Now we have some extra space there. I still have to try to figure out a good spot for maybe a little bedroom. Right now I just kind of threw the bed down here, and then we have a few other boxes that we kind of cleaned up that I want to work on a couple of these different areas in some future projects here. So we'll probably have like a little enchanting island here. We'll put all the enchanting tables, the identification thing, maybe the black market. Got some fun ideas for that in the future. And then on this one, maybe we'll do a little like spot for all of our gear working, so our forges, our anvils, all that kind of stuff, and we'll decorate those up in the future, and then possibly expand out in to the further areas. Now I do remember one thing that I mentioned earlier on that I do want to try to do before we get too carried away here, and that is to go ahead and plop these boys down into our new lake. And let's see if we can get, boom, a couple of dolphins. I probably need to get name tags for these guys now that I think about it. But I think those guys are a pretty cool addition to the pirate island here. Let's see if we even have the technology to get a couple of name tags going. We might have to try to see if we have some villagers for that, but I don't. Can you make name tags in this with Britannia? We might have to try to get one of the villagers and see if we can name tag them. So I don't know if those guys will stick around for too long or not. But let's dive into this right here before we get too far with that kind of stuff. Because I want to get these opened up. We need to get some new gear and continue making progress that way. So we're going to go, boom, bounty crate, elixir crate. Lots of goodies in there. Another bounty crate. Another bounty crate. Another one. I think this is also a bounty crate. Lots of bounty crates, so we got lots of good stuff from that. Some new gear pieces. Definitely a good amount of chromatic steel, which is great. And then now we can test this out too. All we got to do is go over here, boop, boop, double click that. A bunch of this stuff goes away, and that way we can find out, if we sort this out, what kind of stuff still needs to get sorted, so we don't have a spot for blank seals or eternal souls. And we do actually have a couple open places here where we can probably pop the seals in there, eternal souls in there, and then we can actually go ahead in here and we'll grab out our eternal souls, and I can see the seals right there. So now we can just bop those into our storage over here, which is convenient. And then of course we have all of the gear and jewels, which will have to go down in the other section there. Let's see, we get a couple emeralds from this, not too bad there. Did any of this stuff go in here? Oh, did we just get all this as well? I think this was empty beforehand, so I think we got all these items as well. Holy crap, that's a bunch of Benionite, a bunch of Laramar, vault diamonds, gold, holy cow, ton of coins, vault diamonds, some more of that good stuff, so we can squirt that all in there. I don't have any of my gems going into drawers yet, which maybe we'll have to add some more of those for in the future. Did we get any super awesome jewels? A couple of good ones, some living deals, all that kind of stuff. We'll take those down to our future gear working area down here. Yeah, we got all the jewels in these two spots, so we'll get that sorted out in the future, as I mentioned. And I think we probably need to grab out this guy for now and just plop him down there. Holy cow, there's a bunch of new transmogs. We got some new helmets. Is this better? A little bit of extra health and armor. Nothing too crazy yet. Ooh, a bunch of extra ability power there. You might have to work with that a little bit. Nothing too spectacular yet, but we're going to have to do a little working with some more gear in the future, I think, because that's going to be something I definitely want to start getting into. Now that we have some more organization and upgrades, it makes it a lot easier to actually go through this stuff, figure out what we have, figure out what we need, and sort of come up with a plan for how we're going to progress. But I think that's going to do it for this video today. I do really appreciate you coming to hang out with me today. Hopefully you had fun, and if you did, I would love to see you again very soon for some more Vault Hunters here on the Leftovers SMP. We're going to walk the plank backwards. This is sketchy, but woo! Oh, and the dolphins are already gone. That didn't last very long.